Okay, I didn't want to tell them this is purely unplanned.
Yeah, we were actually
They don't
supposed to
know
meet
this.
today, but we couldn't get it all sorted. But we made it in the end.
We made
Praise
it in
be
the
to
end.
God, we got it.
That's
in the
right.
end. We got it.
Fate.
As you walked in, we were just discussing how women tend to become OnlyFans. They push this agenda rather than the mother, the wife, the nice housewife, or a woman to become an engineer. Lugna was saying, I believe truly it's women's fault. They blame men, but women are giving them in. They're making it easy.
Gold digger.
Yeah, gold digger. She gets with some beta dude who has a bunch of money. I think
It makes
it's
sense for them.
Yeah, it's
Beta
great.
dude.
It sounds great.
But you know what?
If they don't sleep with him, I would applaud her.
I would do it.
You know, if
yesterday.
Then she's a hustler. Then
You know
she's
what I
good.
mean?
No, but it's the paradox of femininity. It's actually very interesting because if you look at, they always say nice guys finish last, and most beautiful women could get a nice guy who will do anything they want and give them all his money and be loyal and love them. But women don't want it.
But don't
So,
you think?
like,
Don't you
they
think
don't
that?
want it.
that.
They don't
Exactly.
want this dude.
But nice girls feel like they finish last as well because
Nice
that
girls
girl.
don't finish last.
No, because the girl that doesn't post and doesn't have a BB and doesn't have a
I
BB,
I
a guy
disagree with
doesn't
that. A
see
girl
her.
will always find a man.
Do you think so?
Always.
well-
Men, like he said before, those nice guys work hard all day, not in shape, hasn't got time, pays his bills. Where's he gonna? Like you said before, he's not gonna meet a girl. He's got no confidence.
Yeah.
Like the story he put before the podcast where his wife runs away with a guy.
Yeah.
He's got a kid. He's 45. He's finished.
But don't you think there's
Women
nice
at any
girls-
age can find a
But
man.
don't you think there's nice girls out there that are cooking, cleaning for their man while he's having sex with random girls on that he's met on Instagram?
I get what you're saying, and I think that's different. You're talking
I
you're
think
talking
nice
about
people-
something different, though.
yeah.
You're talking about don't be an easy girl and don't act like a wife if he hasn't wifed
No,
you.
but if you,
know
are
what I
a wife,
mean?
I know
Don't
girls
give
that
him
are
everything.
wives and they
Yeah.
are at home with the kids and
Yeah.
stuff, and their husband is stepping out, and she gets to 40 with 3 kids, and he's left her for a 23-year-old. So there are nice girls also. I think nice people. I don't think it's a nice guy thing. I think nice people, and guys don't realize this. I did a video the other day about how men secretly like gold diggers. They like entitled women, and everyone came for me. But the reality is, men invest first, then love it. Whatever it is, whether it's stocks, shares, crypto, once they've invested, then they start seeing the value in you. Before investment, they don't. So the girl that doesn't ask for anything and doesn't challenge a man, she actually loses her value with men.
But you can still be a nice girl and ask for things. You can definitely be
Yeah.
a nice girl and still ask
Can I
for
have some
things.
money?
You don't have to. You know?
Yeah, no.
Broke you.
Clickbait that.
Broke you. No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
It is interesting. But I think that even if you were to look at, let's say, lonely men, lonely women.
Yeah.
A lonely woman is a woman with a bunch of choices, but she doesn't want any of them. A lonely man is a man with no choices. And they're completely different things.
Yeah.
And I understand what you're saying about the girl who gets a guy who does anything for her and hustles her and gets money and the clinic and all this stuff. But girls don't normally want those men. They don't. They want the top tier guy who barely replies. That's the reality.
Sorry,
you have to look
it's
at
very
you
true.
have to look at us also, not just societally, right? Because a lot of the things we do don't make societal sense. But evolutionarily, we're different. We're animals. We evolved a certain way. And women like the idea of a top tier male, whether physical specimen or status or finances, etc. And that's never going to be the guy who's like the beta who works hard and gives you all his cash. And that's, you have to make a choice as a woman, and it is a difficult choice to make. If I was a girl, I don't know which one I'd choose.
But as a man, do you want the girl that's the hottest girl in the room, or do you want that simple girl that no one would look
No,
at
we
and
want
she's
the hottest girl in the room.
Yeah,
Who's
but
the simple girl? We want both.
but then that's
You
the
want a
same
beautiful lady who's simple,
dichotomy.
you
That's
want
the
a woman.
same dichotomy that
We
women face.
We speak off camera, a lot of my friends.
Yeah.
And we've had private discussions many times.
Yeah.
And it's always, we should appreciate, like, you know, there's women. Like, I spoke to one friend who's very wealthy, and he has a baby mother, whatever, like you call. And he goes, you know, why am I spending money on these hoes, sorry to say, like,
Yeah.
the term, when I've got a woman who's a ride or die? And he said, like, I got to an age where I'm putting all my effort into her. Whatever happens, I realise it's an hour after shower, all women are the same.
Yeah, the same
Hour
shit.
after same as men. You get used to them.
Yeah.
The lust goes, and it comes down to who's a rock, who's there when you had nothing, who's there, and that's the main key. Who's raising your kid while you're out having fun?
Yep.
She's sitting in that house looking after a kid. As men, we know babysitting a child for
Yeah,
2
it's not
hours is
easy.
like,
Yeah.
you know, she does 24/7. Their meals, their education, tells them what's right and wrong, potty training, whatever.
Yeah.
When the older you get, you sit back and think, you know what, that woman deserves
But
respect.
in that process, you've hurt her a lot.
Men, unfortunately, where men have, like you said, it's not a good thing.
No.
Men are built in the same way without God, and then my terms
Yeah.
Allah in the holy book and scriptures. If I wasn't a Muslim, I'd be worse than anyone. No, my boundaries are set by God.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's instinctive.
You can find men who do not have that, who do not seem to have that desire to go out, and even though, let me tell you one more thing first.
Yeah.
Societally, men look at the world slightly different than women as
Yeah.
well. We look at the world in terms of like completed tasks. If a man gets a Porsche, he goes bang, tick off, okay, I got a Porsche, when am I getting a Rari? That's just it.
Yeah.
I got a house. Okay, cool. When am I getting a mansion? That's just how we, and in the world we live in, men are hyper competitive, right? So the second you get something, you're not allowed to really look at it and enjoy it too much. You got to go on to the next thing. And unfortunately, we do that with women. We want to go bang. Okay, she's a solid chick. She's home. She ain't cheating. Boom. Okay, let me get another hobby. That's just how we are, right? Which is part of it societally. But also from an evolutionary perspective, yes, we're evolved to do these things. And you can find men who don't seem to have the instinct to chase those of women, but that's going to be the same man who doesn't have the instinct to chase those of money, get power, get influence, be the top dog. The top dog is going to be the top dog in everything. And if you find that guy, if you find a dude who's out there and he's truly top dog across all spheres, he's not going to ignore this part of his life, unfortunately. Unless something like religion, but it has to be a conscious decision. It has to be something you decide.
He has to actively decide.
You have to actively decide. If you're just going to say, what do I feel like doing? Well, I feel like leaving her there and going out with the boys. That's what I feel like doing.
A few moments back, he's right. Women do want that bad guy. Like, I remember a guy who was a mugshot.
Yeah.
He's a model now.
He has What's his name again?
Jeremy.
He's handsome. He was dating
everyone was sharing this picture. Oh, he's so hot. He's a convict. Why don't you say the same thing about Jimmy Savile?
Because he's not hot.
Yeah.
But that's what this guy's a criminal. So, for example, they're promoting a guy who's had a mugshot. Who knows what he's done? It could have been. No one cared what he did.
Yeah.
He's cool. Why? They love that whole image which portrayed through hip hop and movies. Bad boy, cool. And then they complain.
Yeah.
I haven't got the good guy who works 9 to 5, loves me, holds my hand, massages my neck. I've seen guys do that to a wife, and I've been pulled up and go, you're not affectionate. So,
but isn't it the same? I know, I hate to be this person who's always like, oh, but isn't it the same? We get Laurie Harvey, who's stunning, beautiful. Guys want to be her, but they know she's not. She's a male. Oh, you know who Laurie Harvey is? No. How do you guys not know who Laurie? Futures. Okay, let's take a really hot girl.
Rania.
Oh, let's take
I see Queen Rania.
Yeah, you like a nice girl, yeah.
Classy, powerful. Queen Rania for me.
Yeah.
Like,
who's your celebrity crush? Do you have a celebrity crush?
He didn't even know. No. He's not on social media.
But the top tier girls who's a sexist and she's also going to come with problems. Beautiful girls that are hard work. They're not easy.
Like you said, we change with age and evolve. I've got to that point where I find powerful women attractive, who raise kids, who are side by side with her king, like king or whatever. I love that. For me, there's some shakers here who are influencers. I respect. That's what I see as a woman. When you're young, Samantha Fox when you're a young kid, this, that, but Pamela Anderson, but that's just perversion.
Yeah.
So it's also very difficult. Like, I have so much respect for women who really stick by their men and, do it for the family.
Yeah,
it's so hard to find these loyal women nowadays, and I really think it's because of the influence of these, influencers. I mean,
when a lot of the stigma behind just running to a new man disappears, then it's the answer for everything. It's the cure-all. That's the problem with the West. The reason the West is impossible to find a wife is because she's been through so many dudes before you. The second you half annoy her 1%, well, her answer is new dude. That's just her answer. So you can't ever have any half an argument. You can't miss a good morning text.
That's very true.
It's garbage, right? So you need that stigma there. And when that's gone, it's difficult. And relationships as a whole are difficult. If I was a girl, I have no idea what kind of guy I would date. Because do you really want that dude? Who, do you really want that guy?
Would you date you?
What is the 3M method?
This is a program that I'm launching actually very soon. And here what I do is I teach men just 3 factors on how to have really healthy relationships. First one is mastering yourself. You can never have a healthy relationship without a healthy relationship with yourself. Without self-esteem and self-confidence, there is no point dating. Then you have to master women. Now, women speak a completely different language and men believe them. What they say they want and what they unconsciously reward are completely different. And the final thing is mastering relationships, where you understand communication, conflict resolution, how do relationships work. If you come out of a relationship and you had good memories, good years and beautiful kids, it's not a failure. It's relationships, you're coming out of it with lowered self-esteem, broken homes, depression, anxiety, those are the failures. And that's where I come in with relationship skills.
The thing is,
that's a good question. Would you date you?
I'll tell you all the good and bad about it.
Go ahead. I think we should all do. You tell me yours, I'll go on.
But okay, let's apply it to something. Let's look at men like cars. If you want a Ferrari, everyone else is going to be jealous of your Ferrari, and it's going to be exciting, and it's going to be a bunch of fun, but it's never going to be as reliable as a Nissan. To sit and say, I want a Ferrari reliable like a Nissan, is unrealistic. You have to make a choice. Now, some people choose Nissans because all they care about is reliability. If you're going to be like, I want a guy, like you said, the nice guy who does this, you can get a Nissan. But any girl can get a Nissan any day of the week, and they never seem to want them. But you can go out there right now and find a dude who's going to pay your bills, do this, do that. You're both beautiful very easily. But then you look at the Ferrari and you want the Ferrari. Well, the Ferrari comes with a bunch of problems. It's unreliable, it's expensive, sometimes doesn't want to work, whatever. That's it. So you have to choose what kind of guy you want.
So you are.
I am 1,000% Bugatti Ferrari. I am trouble.
You're gonna,
No, but I mean, I'll be, because we're on a podcast, I'll be brutally honest. The kind of guy I am.
Yeah.
I believe in taking care of a woman. I think if a woman's mine and I can trust her and she's loyal, I would make sure she's financially taken care of. I think that's actually how men show a lot of their love.
Yeah.
I think a lot of love is shown by making sure the house is stable, paid for, finances. They ain't got to worry about nothing. I think that's how love is shown. Women primarily show their love through sexual exclusivity. I'm not saying I'm going to be out there and being a massive cheater or something, but I am the kind of guy who, I'm out. Oh, well, you said you're coming home. I said I'm out. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow. Like I'm busy. And that's just who I am as a person. But I don't think if a woman looks at me and goes, I want Tate and all of his status and all of his fame and all of his money, but I want him to do as I say. Well, then you're delusional.
So hold on, you're really diplomatic. You still haven't answered the question. Would you date yourself?
Well, this is the thing. Okay, let me give another politician's answer. Women seem to want to date men who are at that absolute top tier of status who they can't control. That's who women choose. Let's forget, would I date me? That's who women choose. Let's look at who women as a whole are choosing. When Chris Brown walks in the club and the girls start screaming, not a single one is thinking he's going to be loyal and stay home. It doesn't cross their mind. They don't give a shit. It's all status. So if you're going to find a guy with that much status and all them options, plus his biological programming, you're going to have fucking trouble. You're not going to have Mr. Dependable.
But are you going to attract a good girl? Are you going to attract a wife with that kind of a status, or are you going to attract a hoe?
I think...
Because a wife is going to look at a Chris Brown and see that lifestyle and think, amazing, I would love to be with him, but there's no point. We're never going to get married. So khalas. So what kind of woman are you going to attract?
Well, that comes into that's where the game gets difficult, right? Because Chris Brown can walk with that good girl out of the club and he can convince her that he will be good to her.
Well, he's not going to find a good girl in the club.
Yeah. Well, not in the club, but you know what I'm saying.
But,
you know what I'm saying.
Still a part of being a
good girls,
girl is being able to vet
good girls do not avoid high status males. Not at all. Good girls, they may not stick around as much or something like that, but good girls do not avoid high status males. High status males do not have any disadvantage across any of the playing fields at all. It doesn't matter if you're a high status male who's the most famous man in the world has an advantage with virgins and hoes alike. The exact same. He's that guy. That's it.
But do you think they have a skewed vision because they've only been around women that want to be with them, but true wives wouldn't even talk to them?
I don't know if that's true.
But you'd have a skewed vision. If you're a high value man, you'd have a skewed. Oh, don't get excited. If you're a high value, successful man, your filter is naturally certain types of women. A good girl at home, she would be afraid to talk to you, intimidate. You would never come across her in your life.
No, you can still come across her.
How?
You can definitely come across good girls. There's good girls everywhere. There's good girls, but also I'll tell you another thing that a part of this equation to have the conversation professionally is a lot of women are a reflection of their men. So a lot of women, especially if they're not completely broken, let's say you've had a girl, she's had 3 or 4 boyfriends, whatever. Her next man can make or break her. She's a reflection of her man. If her man's a G and he's got his game right and she behaves herself for him, she'll be a good woman. If her next man's doing coke, hitting the club, being an idiot, she goes off the deep end. A lot of women are reflections of their men. If you see a woman who's been in a relationship for long enough time, if she has any degree of respect for her man, she likes the same music, same political views, same TV shows.
The same thing he eats. Yeah.
But she's evolved to do that. Like we can go back from the evolutionary perspective and how women joined a tribe and they had to agree with the tribe to survive and women needed men to protect them and there's all this to look at. So a lot of women are a reflection of their men. So we talk about finding good girls. I don't think you really necessarily find a good girl. You find a girl who's not yet completely broken and you're man enough to make her be a good girl for you.
Yeah.
That's a lot of women are reflections of their men. So I would argue a real G finds good girls all day long because every girl's like, well I'm not cheating on him because there's nowhere else to go.
Well, maybe
I'm not going to go cheat with Mr. Brokey. I'm going to stay with him.
Well, maybe you create good girls.
Of course you do.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. You create them.
Of course you do. But if you're a dork, then of course you can't find anything good. But you're a dork. So like, why would a girl be good for a nerd?
Yeah.
You know. So this is where a lot of it comes in.
Because I know you think that girls can meet a nice guy, but there's certain girls when they look a certain way, the nice guy doesn't even want to talk to them. He doesn't want to approach them. So she doesn't actually accept access nice guys. She ends up accessing the player because he's the one that approaches her the most.
I think nice guys are trying harder than she'll admit, but she just ignores them all.
Do you think so?
What do you mean?
Like if you're like a beautiful girl and you walk into a room, the nice shy guy is not running over to talk to you. So her pool of men tends to be the confident men that have lots of girls, take it or leave it. They're the men that she approaches. Women aren't designed to go scout for a man.
I agree, but I would argue that her DMs are full of nice guys and their profiles are not interesting enough, and she ignores them.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, look at this dude with the jet.
DM-wise, maybe.
Look at this dude with the jet." And then she's like, "Oh no, Mr. Big Millionaire is not busy."
100% spot on. That's the problem. She doesn't even notice him.
Yeah.
Most men are
I've seen it in
invisible
my
to
gym.
women.
But what about same thing with a guy? If he's got hoes in his DMs and he's got that nice girl with a private thing and just says, a picture of her and a cat, would he notice that girl?
Cats.
Well, whatever it is.
Now she's scaring everyone. That's why.
Would he notice?
Because I've never said anything controversial before, so I'm doing it for the first time ever. But the reality is men judge women by their looks, especially initially, as we do. And
So do women.
exactly.
Yeah.
This is what we do. If that girl with a cat at home, I'll tell you now, if I found a girl who was a 10 and her Instagram profiles was cats and books and sitting at home, that'd be perfect for me. I have no problems with that. If she's hot. The problem is very few hot girls live that lifestyle because hot girls have access to a whirlwind lifestyle.
In Dubai especially.
And the world.
In the world.
Worldwide.
Worldwide.
But
So it depends.
But I also think that there are a lot of women today are not prepared to actually go through that difficult journey with the man and stay with him. And I really feel for young men nowadays. Like it's so difficult. Imagine if you want to marry a girl, she becomes your responsibility. You've got like 7,000 dirhams salary coming in every month. Like it's so difficult, I have so much respect for my mom who, stayed with my dad. Like he had nothing. Like we were living in Ras Al Khaimah. I swear to God, my dad's salary, no joke, 500 dirhams. Like we would eat meat once a week. We would eat fish once a week. My dad would go to work with holes in his shoes, and she stayed with him. Like they're together now, for like over 40 years. So
it's beautiful, and this is the thing. The world has changed, and this is where
It's changed. That
Well,
was-
but
it's impossible.
the world's changed, and this
That's
is
the problem.
And this is where it becomes so difficult because, especially for a man in the world today, I don't think unless you're a top tier male, you can't compete. You can't compete.
Hard.
It's super. I think there's you can actually look this up. They did a study on Tinder, and they got girls to rate men's attractiveness. And they were showing that men are more gradual and women are very binary. So they got like 100 pictures and a guy had to give a rating out of 5. And it was pretty even. Like there was some 1s, some 2s, some 3s, some 4s, some 5s. Whereas girls, like 80% were 1s and 2s. And then 20% were 5s. And the point is girls are just either like yes or no. Yes or no. And if you're not in the yes, your life's difficult.
Yeah, but-
It's hard. And it's not just looks. It's not
hard.
just looks. It's a
Yeah.
bunch. It's also other things your man can't control. I'll tell you the number one thing that women always complain about men have expectations of women, etc. If you're a short dude, it's hard. And women don't give a fuck.
Yeah, we
They're
don't.
like, nah, I should have grown bigger. Fuck you. Next. Or you do what? Oh, you're rich? Don't care. That's it. Well, it's hard, right?
care a little bit.
And it's not easy. And what can you do as a short man besides be your best self, same as being a tall man? I'm not shitting on them. I'm just saying that as a man, women will wake up and go, I don't want to too much. I don't know why it's so hard for me to find a man who's rich and strong and interesting and spontaneous and charismatic and has high status and has time for me and doesn't cheat and is tall and has muscles and a Lambo and where's all the guys? What the fuck? What the fuck? There's only one top G. I'm busy. I'm doing my best. It's hard. And if you're a normal dude, it's especially hard because social media, these women have so many choices. And this is where the actual thing comes into it. You look at, let's say, I'm talking about godless societies like America, etc. And like you said about the Thai happy finish, men don't care a lot of the time, right? So if you're an average chick, let's say you're a 6 or a 7, on a long enough time scale, if you keep answering your DMs, you're going to end up with a G somewhere. Even for just 2 days. Fly them out quickly, boom, or she's part of a group one time, whatever, you with a G. Now it's going to cross her mind, I can get a guy like that. Obviously, he doesn't talk to her again, but I can get a guy like that. So when the Mr. Normal comes along, you're like, well, you ain't got a jet. So even if you're a normal dude, even the normal girls you talk to have been ruined, have been polluted. It's hard. It's super hard for men. And I do think it's hard for women, but at least women have a bunch of choices and it's hard to make the right choice. There are huge swaths of the male population that have no choice at all.
But do you think
Zero choice.
Do you think unattractive girls have choice?
Well, even
Like, let's
yes,
take an
yes.
ugly girl,
Yeah.
because I would say that it's really hard to be an ugly girl as well, because you're so surrounded by
It
beautiful
is.
girls.
It is.
With unattractive men, there's other unattractive men that you can relate to, but unattractive women, there's bombarded with beautiful women all around them. I want.
Okay, let's put it this way. If we were to look at the sexual mating, I do think it's hard to be an unattractive woman.
Especially going into a club or something, you don't even want to go. You won't want to go.
Completely. But if you were to look at the mating choices of an unattractive female and the mating choices of an unimportant man, I would argue the unattractive female still has unlimited choices compared to that unimportant man. The unimportant man, when I say unimportant, I mean dude works at Starbucks, 42, like dude, like his choices are zero. They're zero. That chick can still go to the club. If she drops her level, she'll be fine.
What is the 3M method?
This is a program that I'm launching actually very soon. And here what I do is I teach men just 3 factors on how to have really healthy relationships. First one is mastering yourself. You can never have a healthy relationship without a healthy relationship with yourself. Without self-esteem and self-confidence, there is no point dating. Then you have to master women. Now, women speak a completely different language and men believe them. What they say they want and what they unconsciously reward are completely different. And the final thing is mastering relationships, where you understand communication, conflict resolution, how do relationships work. If you come out of a relationship and you had good memories, good years and beautiful kids, it's not a failure. It's relationships, you're coming out of it with lowered self-esteem, broken homes, depression, anxiety, those are the failures. And that's where I come in with relationship skills.